of the Northwest region. A good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the English segment in the Midday Bilingual Newscast on Kiss FM with me, Baba Samba. We begin with a truck yesterday knocked down a 9-year-old boy in the Konege neighborhood of Yaoundé. The driver of the truck blamed the accident on brake failure. Presently, the driver and the boy are admitted at the hospital undergoing medical attention. Still in the city of Yaoundé, a journalist Ahmed Abba, a Hausa language correspondent from French radio RFI, who has been under detention since July 30th, 2015, was brought before the Yaoundé military tribunal for the first time yesterday. He is accused by Cameroonian authorities for complicity and non-denunciation of terrorism act, punishable by the penal code. The defense counsel accused the court of illegality as their client was detained within 3 months under secret detention, and neither his family nor lawyers knew his whereabouts. Ahmed, before the session, pleaded not guilty. The case was adjourned for March 29th. Still in the central region, a teacher is reported to have killed his student through corporal punishment. The incident happened this morning in the agricultural school in Mfu. Over in the Adamawa, a group of individuals accused of taking hostages, money and cattle from the population in the Adamawa region with the support from some armed persons have been arrested. The arrested thugs of different nationalities are said to be members of the gang headed by Amadou Hamadou alias Dogo, apprehended by elements of the judicial police some few days ago in Yaoundé. The sum of 400 million francs CFA was seized from the local population by the group was also recovered. Talking politics, Honorable Cavalier Yege Jibril, Speaker of the National Assembly, has summoned members of Parliament to their first annual session. Traditionally, this first annual session is devoted to the renewal of the Bureau of the National Assembly, but given the current political climate marked by calls from militants of the ruling CPDM party for Biya to stage another constitutional regime in order to organize early presidential election initially scheduled for 2018, some political observers have sounded a note of caution that the Cameroonian government may table in Parliament a draft law on amending the constitution, a reform that is needed if Paul Biya has to continue as head of state after 34 years. In our international news roundup, Gabon President Ali Bongo has confirmed his participation in this year's upcoming presidential elections. He made the declaration in a visit to Port Gentil, the oil hub, which is traditional opposition stronghold. Bongo came to power in 2009 through a disputed election after the death of his father, Omar Bongo. With this move, he is seeking to extend the ruling Gabonese Democratic Party's nearly 50-year rule over the oil-producing country. The Uganda's main opposition forum for democratic change party is holding a press conference on the deadline, therefore filing a complaint about the recent presidential election result. Its leader, Kiza Besege, lost to incumbent Yoweri Museveni, who won a fifth term in office with more than 60% of the vote. Mr. Besenge is currently under house arrest. Zimbabwe's former Vice President Joyce Mujuru has launched a new opposition party, Zimbabwe People First. She has long experience in government as she became a cabinet minister at independence in 1980 when she was its youngest member. And finally, a court in South Africa is to hear a case brought by the opposition to reinstate 738 corruption charges against President Jacob Zuma. He was accused of taking bribes over a multi-billion arms deal, but strongly denied the allegation. The main opposition, Democratic Alliance D8 party, is challenging the decision in the High Court after a nearly 6-year legal battle. And lastly, in sport, Yaoundé Nenke is the new coach of Panther of the Day. The former trainer of Sable of Bati has the daunting task of upgrading the playing tactics of the Bagante club, bringing it back to its former level. The club is classified at the 15th position with 5 points after the 5th day of play into the League One. Panther of the Day will be logging horns with Canon of Yaoundé in Balmayo, and that will serve a first test for Yaoundé Nenke to prove his training dexterity. It's coming up to 26 minutes gone past 12 in the village of Bangante of the West Region. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the package we could put together for you on today Midday Newscast on Kiss FM. I have been Baba Samba, thanking you for listening. Take care.